It is indeed a pleasure to welcome our next act, ladies and gentlemen. You have seen him on Conan. You have seen him on Jimmy Kimmel Live. You have seen him on Cougar Town. He's a MILF, the absolutely brilliant ROVE Delaney!
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Nice to see you all. In keeping with the international theme, I want to tell you a story. I recently did a show in Belfast in Northern Ireland, and it's calmed down in recent years. It's not as scary anymore, but the city's covered with murals back from when it was going through its troubles. And you can hire a cab and get a ride around and look at all the murals. Some of them are really beautiful. Some of them are sad, like hunger strikers and stuff, but they're, it's just sort of how they healed and dealt with it. Anyway, I got a cab driver, and he was showing me all the murals. And as he was about to finish, he said, "Now I'm going to take you, and I'm going to show you the most powerful mural we've got. It's my favorite mural, but I need to tell you, as an American, there's a symbol on this mural that you're not going to understand. So you'll look at it, sort of absorb it, let it wash over you, and then I'll explain the symbol to you." So I was excited to learn about a new symbol. He pulled around a corner, and there was this 7-story tall painting of a British paramilitary soldier just firing tear gas canisters into a pile of kids. It was upsetting. And but then in front of it was this ancient Irish symbol that he had mentioned. And what it was a giant red circle with a slash through it. And so I was like, okay. And I just decided to mess with him a little. I was like, okay, so what you're saying is you take a thing and then you mural up a building and then you put the symbol on it, and the symbol kind of means you should do that some more. And he's like, "No, for goodness sake, what I meant, no, the symbol, I know you wouldn't know what it is. You take a great ruby red circle and you encircle the entire building with it. And then from the northwest to the southeast, you bisect it with a mighty red slash. And what we're saying is none for me and mine. No, none of that." And I was like, okay, I get it. So basically, you draw something or whatever, you take a picture, and then you put this around there, and it's saying, yeah, a few more of those. And he's like, "No, for goodness sake, great job, and let's get the wax out of your American ears, for God's sake." And anyway, now you guys know what that symbol is too. So I just want to share that with you guys. It's my favorite thing that's happened to me in the last 5 years. Since this is live on the internet, I want to talk about internet filth and porn. I grew up in the 80s, and when I wanted to masturbate, I had to write a letter to a friend's older brother who lived in Pennsylvania, and he would mail me back the coordinates of where he had buried a cigar box 11 years ago with a rain-damaged Playboy. I would have to take a map, and I'd have to get a friend, and we'd have to bring victuals and dry goods. And I'd hike through the woods. We would get there just as the sun was setting, and we'd dig it up, and there'd be no more daylight, so we'd have to jerk off together, just because that's all the time that was left, And but now with the internet, it's just filth. You open your computer and you open your AOL homepage, just a gaping butthole. It's just total filth. Why is it so gross? I'm just so glad that I grew up in an age where, when I was younger, I would have to jerk off to poetry. I used to jerk off to the written word. You should try it. But now it's just garbage. And people are fucking each other on their butts a lot online. And I don't understand that. And I'm not speaking out of school here. I tried it. When I was in college, I had a girlfriend. And we were like, "Hey, I heard people butt fuck." And it wasn't even me. I wasn't like, "Hey, it's my birthday. Can I?" And it might have even been her idea. I don't remember. I didn't have a hankering for it. And so we were going to do it, right? So we're having normal penis-vagina sex, and then she's like, "Yeah, go ahead, start it out." And I just started, and she was like, "Oh, God, no." And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. We'll never do it again. I'm very sorry. I want you to enjoy what we do. Let's go get a falafel." And she was like, "Meh." And she goes, "No, you need to know what it was like." And I was like, It seems awful. I believe you. She was like, "No, you need to know." And I was like, "What does that mean?" I backed up against the wall. I thought Navy SEALs were gonna burst out of the building and be like, "Time to learn." And so, anyway, what she did is she went to her dresser and she got just a tiny little vibrator, a wee little itsy bitsy one, not even a, a tiny one you'd use on the bus, nothing. And so then we started messing around again, and then she took it and touched it to my surprisingly cute little butthole, and then she went push, and I immediately was like throwing up almost, sobbing, racked with sobs. So anyway, I get it. I understand that there are people in the world who don't want a big, hard penis going in and out of their butthole, and I'm among them. I'm one of those people. So I'm just saying, you're the boss of your own butthole, okay? Remember that. So if your boyfriend is like, it's Arbor Day, be like, and so you don't have to let him do it. I mean, so I just, look, if you want me to fuck you in your butt, I'll fuck you in your butt. I'm not a monster, but I'm saying, you're the boss of your butt. You decide what goes in and out of there. So, another thing for you youngsters out there. That same older brother, the friend's older brother who I called and had to get the coordinates for the cigar box to dig up the porn, he also taught us what blowjobs were. Not like he didn't do a tutelage session, but he mentioned that he got a blowjob, and we were like, "What's that?" He's like, "It's when a penis goes," and I was like, "Shut up, I want one." And so, anyway. And he mentioned, he was like, yeah, but they gotta swallow, they can't spit. And I was like, what does that matter? And he was like, well, anyway, decades later, I finally, a Samaritan, put my penis in her mouth. And I realized that if you suck my dick, you're a hero. You can take it, you can spit it in your hand, and you can break my jaw, and I will drive to the florist, and I'll get my jaw wired shut, buy you flowers, come and be like, thank you so much, I love you. Spit or swallow, it's up to you. I don't care. I mean, literally, you could suck my dick, and then when you're done, you could peel off an expensive Mission Impossible style mask and reveal that you're not a beautiful young woman. You're Pat Sajak from the Wheel of Fortune. And I'd be like, Pat, let me take you to brunch. I'm Rob Delaney. Thank you very much.
Rob Delaney!